The underlying reality of oneness automatically prompts most individuals to try and make things better, to change the bad pictures into good ones. We have been connecting with many of you while you are in the waking state, and we are not alone in this endeavor. There are many higher dimensional beings and collectives who are connecting with humans who are in the waking state. And there are many humans who have just not yet realized that they are being contacted by a consciousness that is other than their own. This is something that more and more people are going to be realizing in the coming weeks and months, as there is another mass awakening occurring at this time, which means all sorts of doorways are being opened. You know that the new earth is the one that awaits you, you who open your heart to the understanding of true life. That is to say, to the life of love and light that is not only around you, but within you. You know how to bring out this wonderful light that is within you. We have often spoken to you about going to meet it in moments of silence, either in nature or at home in a place that is a place of peace for you. It is important that you have places in your homes, in your apartments, where you can find yourself, where you can create your little altar of prayer and meditation. This does not mean that you who understand about three-dimensional illusion should walk by on the other side, but means that you must be aware of the universal pull to align with appearances. It will help you stay centered if you give less or no attention to today's constant bombardment from the media, and refrain from engaging in polarized political or religious discussions. The reason there are so many evolved souls on Earth now is that the time has come for Earth to evolve beyond the extreme density it has been in for too long. The presence of high resonating energy was needed to break through and dissolve the density of Earth's collective consciousness. You who are presently living the mystical life are those who chose to be on Earth, where your evolved state of consciousness would automatically add increasingly more of these higher energies. And because you are all connected, those of you who are already awake are going to be having more realizations. A lot of those realizations are going to be about the connections you already have, the experiences with consciousness that you've been having. And you're also going to realize where you want to go with all of that. You are going to be channeling a lot more and realizing that you are channeling when you do. You are also preparing yourselves for physical extraterrestrial contact by having these types of connections occur. When we speak of prayers, we do not mean only the prayers that your religions have taught you. No. We mean thoughts, words, and thoughts of the mind. We mean thoughts, words of love and gentleness that you offer to the earth and to your humanity. But in this, do not forget yourselves, for it is quite possible for you to offer to yourselves, during these meditations, the most beautiful love that exists and the most beautiful light that radiates within you. Some of you will say, but how can I see my light? How can I feel love? And what is really love, true love? An evolved consciousness in alignment with truth is capable of witnessing and experiencing third-dimensional issues without adding sustaining energy to them. A state of consciousness that knows there is only one, and that anything other than that one is an expression of duality, separation. And two powers is a powerful force for change because one with God is a majority. You who live from a consciousness of truth are light warriors, even if you think you are doing nothing. A state of consciousness once attained can never regress back to its previous state and will override the many forms of three-dimensional hypnotism simply because it is the reality. Many have tried to go back to a previous time when things seemed easier, but always present in the midst of their activities was consciousness saying hello. An example. Most of you have had opportunities to steal, and perhaps even considered it at times. But you never followed through because honesty, which is a facet of oneness, was your state of consciousness. You are beginning to recognize that the veil is thinning, that your skies are full of ships, and that so many of your fellow humans are channeling, are connecting, and are having the experiences that are paving the way for all people having contact. Once you recognize that you are making connections to other realms and other beings, you then have to decide what to do about it. You can, of course, do nothing with that realization, but many of you are going to feel compelled to tell that story or to share that information with others, and as you do, you will be helping so many who are having similar experiences and don't know what to do with theirs. Love, knowing and trying to understand what true love is the question that many humans ask themselves. Do I love my children, my spouse, my family, my friends with true love? This is the great question for each and every one of us. We will tell you this. True love is very simple. Yes, we do say great simplicity. It does not require extraordinary things to be done, extreme moments to be experienced, extraordinary human help to be given. True love is lived without asking questions about actions, acts, thoughts intended for humans, for nature. Without asking questions about whether you are doing well or not, about what others around you will think about it, etc. True love is lived in the impulse of the heart, the one that makes you act for the well-being of the other without having any ulterior motive. True love is, as you know, unconditional, which means that it does not ask for any questioning in the action, in the thought, but makes you act for the best for the other who asks for help. Dear brothers and sisters of the earth, at this moment of your earthly life, you have the impression that love, true love, does not exist because you see around you many events that attack you and make you doubt that love can exist in your humanity. Some spiritually evolved individuals find it easy to love others, but are unable to love themselves. Often when words said or actions taken in the past are seen through more evolved eyes, it brings about shame, guilt, self-loathing, and the belief that they are unworthy of love or even of doing spiritual work. Because of the density and pressures of living in a third-dimensional world, most require a few years to consciously awaken into their attained state of consciousness. During these fragile earlier years, most become hypnotized by the concepts and beliefs they were taught by parents and society, leading them to do and say the very things now causing them guilt and shame. The bottom line of third-dimensional energy is you will never be good enough, because the state of consciousness of the majority remains three-dimensional. Most simply accept this to be the truth about themselves. This is a wonderful time to be awake there on earth, because you know so much more that can bring you solace, peace, and because you can take what you know and go so much further with it. Now is not the time to be suppressing anything or denying anything, especially that which is happening to you and through you. Let yourselves have the experiences without questioning whether they are real. And know that you are there to give yourselves and others permission to have these connections and these contact experiences. You are there to light the way for so many others, and you are there to do much more than the generations who have come before you have been able to do. But we tell you, your planet and its humans are in the process of finding it. The previous years of pandemics have made many of you think. You have understood or tried to understand the difficulties that were imposed on you, and many of you have decided not to live this anymore. This is why many of you have opened your hearts to all those who suffered during these delicate moments. You have opened your hearts to the desire for peace, for serenity, and for the sweetness of living an earthly life full of love. Yes, it took these years of difficult experiences for your heart to open to love. Do not doubt that true love has crept into you and will allow you more and more to soothe your being, humanity, and life on earth. You will say, but it is impossible to make true love bloom on earth when we see wars here and there. How can we do it? We will tell you this: the flame of true love that is in your heart needs to express itself. For this, you have the strength and the power to make this flame emerge and radiate from your heart to the heart of the earth, its soil, and all that lives there. That is to say, all the kingdoms, whether mineral, vegetable, animal, and of course human. If you experience self-loathing, hatred, or guilt when looking back at earlier times in your life, remember that the personal human, ego sense of self is a material concept of you. The person you ignorantly believed yourself to be in the past, and even now, is not the reality. Waking up to this fact is what evolution all about. Many know this, but fall into the ego trap of needing a sense of punishment for past actions, and so continue to think of themselves as less than. Forgive the self of the past that made less than loving choices, just as you forgive others. Make amends when appropriate, and begin to identify with your real self rather than a false concept of you. Often an incoming soul will choose to be born into a family with that can activate the energy they have chosen to clear. Some belief that they have carried from lifetime to lifetime and are now prepared to move on from. The process often takes years because the particular energy must first be activated, lived, seen through, finally cleared. For example, a person may choose to incarnate into a family fully engaged in the strict religious beliefs of some particular religion in order to reactivate this same long-carried energy in themselves. This is particularly true for many who have lived many lives and taken vows in convents, monasteries, ashrams, or rigid organized religions. This is your time, and the time is now, and you will feel that urgency to connect and express what it is that you are receiving. It will become an undeniable force in your life, and one that you will feel much relief in expressing to your fellow humans. And now is just the beginning of what is to come in regards to all of the connections that you can and will make while in your physical body there on planet Earth. When you hear about wars in this or that country, open your heart and see its flame of love flooding these countries and their people. Some of you will also say, when I do that, I do not see the flame of love emerging from my heart, then I have the impression to be useless. We say to you, you are not useless as long as you have the sincere intention to bring this true love around you and as long as you wish sincere peace on earth. The intention of the heart is very important, much more so than the mental intention that does not spread so beautifully. Dear children of the earth, we speak to you of true love because you will need to feel it, to live it, and to offer it to those around you. Why is this so? Because the celestial energies that we are sending you will transform your beings very quickly. This means that as everything is going faster and faster, it will be necessary for you, and you will feel it strongly within you, to transmit thoughts of love, peace, and joy around you, but also to feel them within yourself. The new energies that are coming towards you are accelerating this process of evolution. Of course, there will be some humans who will have difficulties with this and who will not be able to adhere to it. But this will be part of their life path. They will reach the new earth in another incarnation. But you, who are trying to understand or who are beginning to understand the meaning of true life, will be asked more and more to focus on yourself in order to make this marvelous love that is within you and also around you grow. The divine energy is accentuating its force of love that will touch you with gentleness to make you grow, so that you can access the new earth as soon as possible.